It's that time of the year again where I can start wearing this hat again without sweating my balls off. I can wear this hoodie again without sweating my balls off. I can continue reading manga and playing video games in my apartment without having to pay the electric company for higher bills because the air conditioning's off. But back to that other point, it's Manga Log. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying. This is the third time that I've tried to start this video, so fuck it. Yeah. So, this is the Manga Log about October. You're gonna find out everything that I've read from this lovely journal that I keep. Yeah. October was a pretty good month for manga. It was mostly a catching up month where it was not really that many new volumes I started, and it was mostly stuff that I continued on, and I only didn't really finish that many series. It was just a month that I just read a large portion of stuff that I have been reading for the past several years. So, all in all, good. But, yeah, also, in the month of October, finally beat Tales of Arise. Good fucking game. If you like JRPGs and you've played the Tales of series, Tales of Arise, banger. There were a few parts of it that annoyed me, but who cares? I am also finally starting playing METROID Dread after buying it at the beginning of last month. It only took me a month to finally get around to playing it, but, you know, that's just life. But you don't care about that for this video. You care about what I read. So let's get into that. I will say I'm going to keep the fucking comic section of this, because even though I've read nothing of that, I will eventually start reading more comics as soon as I find more comics that I want to read or more comics that I have been reading come out. So, meh. Anyways, on to what I've read. So far, in the month of October, I have read 46 volumes of manga, 0 comics, and I have finished only 1 series. So, all in all, it was a solid month of just me reading series that I have been reading and just catching up on a few things. So let's get into that. I will start with what I finished. No. Yes. I forget how I do this. I think it's finished first, or is it new? You'll find out. It's what I finished. That's what it did. I definitely didn't have to look back on my other videos to figure out how my ordering works on these videos. That's a lie. I'm lying to you right now. Anyways, what I'm not lying to you about is what I finished this month in the way of manga, which I gotta say also, completely always forget about talking about this, but if you want to know exactly what I'm reading out throughout the entire month, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I usually post whenever I finish a volume and post it up there. All in all, best way to figure out the exact things that I've read. But, anyways, what I finished this month is, it's Jojo's. Jojo's Part 2 to be exact. I think I'm just gonna, because it's weird because I technically finish a series, but at the same time I haven't finished the series. JoJo's is a weird thing to put into a category, but I finished Part 2. I have the next 3 volumes of Part 3, so I just figured I should put it in the finished part, just because I wanted to. Yeah, Part 2 was interesting and weird, and it was JoJo's. I don't know what the fuck to say to you that people haven't already said. I could tell you plot points of it and you could still read it without thinking that that was actually the truth. Yeah, it was very good. I liked it. I'm probably gonna like the Part 3 more, or based off of what other people have said, because I haven't watched all of JoJo's, and obviously I'm reading JoJo's for the first time, so I haven't caught up to it, but I've heard that Part 3 is where it starts getting really good. So yeah, that's when all the stands come into it and more ways to dodge copyright, because good God, everything in this fucking series is like named after a band. It's great. So yeah, we'll probably at some point make a video on how I feel about the series, maybe after I finish part 3. So that will probably be like several months from now. But right now, like it, enjoy it. We'll probably continue buying more of it. We'll hopefully catch up to it so that whenever the series starts coming out, when part 5 is just coming out in the States, so hopefully I can catch up to that so I can just pick it up as it comes out. So yeah, really good. Recommend it. It's Jojo's. What the fuck do you want me to say to you? On to the other shit. The series that I've started this month, also very small. Again, most of it was me just catching up on series that I have been reading. But the series that I have started this month, that one I was very interested in because I saw the anime and never got around to finishing the anime because it's, you know how it is. You start one, you're like, man, this is great, and then like after a few weeks you kind of forget that you were watching it, and then you're like, fuck, what's happening in this series? Anyways, that would be for the one that I started this month is the Otherside Panic. Otherside Panic is kind of interesting and really cool concept. Essentially, story-wise, is that these two lovely ladies who are named Sawo. This woman is Soroa, I think. And I'm terrible at fucking names. And the other lovely lady is Toriko? Yeah. And they go to this other place called the Other Side, as they call it, that sort of revolves around urban legends and the weirdness that this other place has, and having to deal with it, as well as Toriko trying to find her friend, or, you know, maybe more. I don't know. It definitely has a lot where Soro, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Sort of, I'm pretty sure likes her. I'm not 100% sure. I can't figure that shit out, even in real life, let alone in... If it's not explicitly told to me, I won't figure it out. That's just how I am, and it is what it is. But I do like it. It is pretty good. I think the art in it is kind of cool and weird at points. I'm trying to find one that is... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's very weird and the art style is crazy, but yeah. Recommend it if you like sort of urban legends as well as some yuri, because I'm pretty sure that's what this is. But yeah. I don't think this is like a 2-in-1. I think it's just a thick. So, yeah. It is what it is. Really good. Like the art. Like the story so far. Yeah. Don't know what else to say. Also, it's by Squeenix. I seriously didn't know that they printed, like, they made manga. Every once in a while I think about that and I'm like, Jesus. And then I look back and I'm like, oh man, I have a few of them. Anyways, from there, we have one that is not printed by Square Enix, and one that I randomly picked up because the cover / the back of it seemed interesting. This is a omnibus, so sort of like any of the like Shaman Kings or technically this is a 2-volume omnibus. So sort of similar to the how the realist hero rebuilt the kingdom, that sort of deal too. But that's not that. It is the Farway Paladin, which is, I didn't know what to think about it when I picked it up. I randomly saw it, was like, okay, it seems interesting. The concept on the back of the book interested me. Essentially, the main character, Will, lives in a town with only 3 undead. And he's not undead. and they sort of teach him and train him, and the world is sort of kind of interesting. And then it really stuck with me in the beginning, trying to figure out why he's there, who are these undead, and all this sort of mystery that surrounds the world. And I will say it's sort of an isekai, but also at the same time, it barely plays a role in it. A bit here and there it shows up, but not too much. It's not like, oh man, he has like super strong powers because he's isekai. No, he was brought there as a baby, and he was taught by 3 very interesting undead, and he learned from them, and I like it. It's a good way to tell, because you, like, I have complained about isekai, check out that video. You, for the first, like, majority of this, like, omnibus, I think maybe probably the first volume or first volume and a half, you watch him train, and it goes through the years and the amount of training and learning that he goes through to get as strong as he is. But even then, he's not extremely strong. He's not overpowered. So I don't know if he's extremely overpowered, but right now he's having difficulty defeating enemies, and essentially I like it because it showed he learned and he grew. I love it when series do that. I wish that more isekais were to do that. And I also enjoy the art. It's very, very good, and I want to flip to a page that isn't just a spoiler. Whoa, yeah. This isn't really that much of a spoil, but yeah, the art, I like the art. It's simple, it's good, and when it needs to be detailed, it's detailed. But yeah, can't show too much of it because it's gonna spoil it. But yeah, really good. Would recommend it, especially if you like if you like D&D. This character feels like a pal. Like, I mean, he has sort of a backstory like that, and yeah, recommend it. Yeah, it's really good. Don't know what else to say. I will buy the next one that comes out. So yeah, the 2 series that I started, really good. So yeah, pick them up if you want to. Anyways, I'm a weird person. With that being said, I will move on to the stuff that I continued this month. Alright, on to the section where I talk about what I've continued. I will say this one will be a little bit longer because, didn't really start that many and I didn't really finish that many. So, picked a little bit more, just so it is. Large, different selections. So, first off, one that I have been meaning to get all of the volumes from ever since I finished reading it in high school, and now that I'm an adult, so to speak, I have an expendable income, so I'm eventually going to get all of them. I just need 2 more, because I have volume 6 of it. I just need to find 7 and 8. And by that, I mean Parasyte. Parasyte is one of those series that I really enjoyed in high school, and I really enjoyed reading it now. Really good. It's, if you don't know what Parasyte is, it's essentially one day these weird alien creatures fall from the sky and they worm into your brain and take over your brain, and then they're able to shapeshift their heads and stuff to be weird eldritch beings, essentially. Except the main character, Suin-Chi, he also had this happen, but it started crawling up his arm. He was able to stop it from going up there by, essentially tying it off, and instead turned his hand into the parasite. And now, him dealing with the situation that he has this weird alien creature in his hand, and then the other alien creatures want to deal with him because he's essentially a deviant within their an oddity within their race. So very good. The art is great. I think this was originally made in the 80s. I'm not 100% sure, but it is solid art. The art style holds up, and I wouldn't say that it's too bad, but yeah, it's really good art for the most part, and the weirdness that has the different parasites as they change and transform these people's heads. Really good. Pick it up. Only 8 volumes, and all in all, it doesn't cost that much total. If you buy it new, it costs like $80. So yeah, Parasyte. Another one that I think I've talked about on this in my manga logs, but I'm not 100% sure. One that I randomly picked up because it seemed interesting and the concept seemed different than most, and that is Blue Period. Blue Period is really good. If I have talked about it, then you already know. If you've read it, you already know. But if you don't know, is essentially the main character, who is Yotaro. I think I fuck up his name, everyone's name. He is this guy. Is essentially like doesn't know what he wants to do in his life, and then he starts painting, and then he really enjoys painting, and as a result, he wants to get into this very elite school for painting, though he barely has a few years of experience, and he's just like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I finally found something that truly I love, and is him going through these struggles of learning how to create art and essentially understand and know what he wants. And I like it because, one, these struggles are kind of real, and two, I learned more about fucking art than I did in school. Like, I've learned more about how art is made in this series than I have from, going to art class in school. Granted, this might be because I'm also colorblind. I don't know if I've ever said this in a video. I know I've said it on a stream, but I am partially colorblind. Side note, I can't see shades of colors, like certain shades of colors. It's weird. I don't know the exact term of it, but yeah. So I kind of drifted away from art, but I kind of wish that I didn't. It's pretty cool, and I wish that I had paid attention more in school, but yeah, you live and you learn. But yeah, it's really cool. The characters are interesting, and I like how they explain how art, like different art techniques are done, and the struggles, as well as the fact that it's not easy to get into the one school. I think it's like TUA. I think it's something like that. I can't remember. It's something like that. But like I said, the art, if it wasn't good art in a manga that was about art, then I don't think you would have a good story about it, because the art is fantastic. Oh man, what's a good one to show? There was one panel that I saw and I wanted to show off. Like the character designs are cool and awesome and all unique, and it's great. And then the art within it that the characters are drawing are cool. Where is it? Yeah. Just another sort of, look at that. That's cool. And how the inspiration comes about. The different characters. Where is that one panel showing off the finished? Yeah. Like this. That looks fucking cool. It's really awesome. I'm definitely going to get more whenever I see it. I think I saw that the 5th one is out, so whenever I see that, I'm picking it up. So, yeah. Go read it if you want to learn more about art. Blue Period. From there, one that I haven't read in a while, but finally got around to finding the next one in a bargain. And this one I think is on hiatus, which means that it may never continue on, but I was interested in it, and I think I only technically have 2 more like omnibuses that are out right now that I can get, and then I'll be up to date, because I don't know when the next one's gonna, if it's ever going to continue, because I couldn't find it online. That being said, I'm talking about Witchbuster. I have had this series for a while. I randomly saw it back when I first moved into this place and started really collecting manga. I was like, oh, this one seems interesting, so I did. And then I stopped for a bit, and then I couldn't find more, and then I finally found this one in the bargain. So yeah, Witchbuster is a very interesting one. It's essentially the premise is like there's these witches in the world. The witches are sort of almost always evil and want to kill everyone else or something along those lines. Then there's the witch hunters that go out and hunt these witches, and you mostly follow this one witch hunter named Tasha Goodspell. It's like Tasha Goodspell, right? Is it Tasha Goodspell? I'll just put it on the screen. Anyways, and him and other people within the group that he sort of is a part of fighting these witches, and the story seems very interesting. The art design within it is pretty cool, and I like it. And I will just say that some pictures can't really show all that much, because the art design is cool. But yeah, that's a good one. Oh yeah, I like the art design. It's very cool. The characters all feel different, and also apparently that's a guy. Didn't realize that was a guy. Is what it is. But yeah, definitely like it. It's not going to rock the boat. It's also different style. Like, I think this was a manhwa, so the as you can see, the different reads right to left instead. No, reads left to right instead of right to left. I'm so used to manga. Anyways, all in all, pretty good. You could probably find them, though I think they're getting hard to get. Because I think I heard from Sloth that volumes 11 and 12 are hard to find. So yeah, if you want to try and read it up, you can. But I don't know when the continuation of the series is going to be, because hiatus, and if it will ever come back. Anyways, from there, one that I have talked about in a few different videos and would always constantly talk about, and that is the Ascendance of a Bookworm. I think I've talked about this before. I know I've talked about it before. Really good series. I'm praising it because it's awesome. Definitely has a different feel from other isekais, because the main character doesn't feel overpowered. She is still a little girl in the series, and she is still using her knowledge that she has from years of reading books, but she's now in a world that doesn't have books readily available to everyone else. I think I'm getting close to the end of part 1, because this is in different parts, because I think that's different segments within the story that are separated into different parts. So yeah, part 1 though, if you want to know, if there aren't any books, I'll just have to make some, and it's essentially her. This part is her going to and trying to make books herself, and it's really good. I think this part's almost done, and we're almost to the second part going to be getting released. So definitely really good story. I love it. I like the art within it. It's a bit slower of a read because it's not like action all the time action. And there's some definitely heavy hitting parts in it. It's not like, oh man, everything's gonna be great. Look, it definitely made me feel sad at points, and I like the art. It's not overly dramatic, but it's really good. Awesome, and I like the story within it. And hopefully I never were to ever get into that situation. Though, the way that this world's going, maybe I want to be an isekai. You know, it is what it is. From there, speaking of isekais, we have Afortune from Commonplace to the World's Strongest. This one I have been reading for a while. I remember picking up volumes 1 through 3 a few years back, and then just reading all through them through a like an hour or two, and it was like, awesome, this is really good. This is another isekai. It has sort of a similar problem, but you also feel terrible for the main guy, Hajime, I think is how you pronounce his name, as he essentially gets sent to this world and gets fucked over by his like a classmate. I think that is revealed at one point, and him just being like, I want to go back home. And then he meets other people that he slowly, because he went through some shit in that first volume, so it's really good that he's sort of getting some semblance of a life back. But yeah, all in all, really good. The art wise, it's pretty good. It has more of that drastic feel at points, but yeah, also he can transmute things, so he can make guns and shit. But yeah, art wise, it's pretty good, and it's definitely one that I like a little bit more in the isekai genre. And I like the fact that, one, he gets together with the main female that he is, because that so many fucking times they're just like, I don't know, do I like them? No, they specifically said that they're lovers. So yeah, all in all, pretty good series. Really like it. Yeah, most of these videos are me just saying I like it. I'm not that hard to please as a person. Alright, from one that I know I haven't talked about it, because I was on the fence a bit from volume 1, but I like the premise of it, but I think I saw it on the Sloth's channel, and him talking about it, like, oh fine, I'll try volume 2. Enjoyed volume 2, have volume 3 on the pile, and hoping and waiting for volume 4. And that is Ragna Crimson, which is a very fucking interesting story, and pretty awesome, say the least. Like, the concept is interesting, and I haven't really seen it before, and the characters are sort of at points like it feels one-dimensional, but at the same time you slowly are learning more about them, and the enemies in it are crazy and creepy, and I would never want to deal with them. So, premise-wise, in this world, there are dragons. Dragons will fuck you up. You can hunt dragons, but dragons are also immune to... They are unable to be killed by conventional weapons, but they also can only be out in sun. They can't be out in the sunlight. As a result, they mostly are nocturnal and fuck up anything that comes into the area. There are people that hunt them using specific, like, silver weapons that apparently are able to kill dragons. Ragna, one of the main characters, is fond of this girl that helped him out, and has this sort of situation where his future self comes back to give him the power that he essentially accumulated over the years. Don't know how he came back, I can't remember off the top of my head, and is essentially like, hey, go look for Crimson. They will help you kill the dragons, because you fucked up in the future, and I don't want you to fuck up now. And he gains this power that is essentially him able to create silver from his body, and his body is essentially able to constantly produce silver. He teams up with this dragon that is sort of like a trader, and they're like, okay, we're going to go hunt dragons, and then when we hunted all the dragons in the world, you're going to kill me. because that's what Ragna wants, and no, that's what Crimson wants, and Ragna's like, okay, fine. And it's interesting, because I also thought it was not in like modern times, essentially, but there's guns, but they don't really use them, because it's cheaper to make one silver weapon compared to, like, one silver sword compared to 50 silver bullets, although the bullets will be better. So, yeah, really good. The art style within it is very interesting, to say the least. There are, like, bubbly, cute moments, I would guess, but at the end of the day, it's really fucking dark. Like, what is a part that I can say is really, really dark? Oh, yeah. Yeah, those people don't live. I'm just going to say that. They don't live, but yeah, it's messed up, and it definitely shows that the dragons are messed the fuck up. Also, in this one section, there's like several paragraphs of words. So, yeah. Really good, awesome, and I like the art. I like how the art is just really cool, and definitely because these dragons are so powerful, they need to think of different strategies to combat them. So, yeah, really good. Can't wait to get around to reading Volume 3. Okay, one more series that I have continued reading and absolutely love, that I haven't talked about it before, but if I have, then you know the spiel, but if I haven't, well, this is your first time hearing me talk about it. And that is, I think I've talked about it, I'm not 100% sure. Call of the Night. I think I've talked about this. Again, not 100% sure. It is a very interesting series. If I have talked about it, then you know. If you've read it, you know. But if you haven't, it is a series where this normal dude, Ko, is essentially an insomniac and just wanders the streets at night. And one day he meets Nezuna, I think is how you pronounce her name, who is a vampire, and he's like, hey, they get to know each other, and he eventually is like, hey, can you just turn me into a vampire? She's like, okay, fine, but the way that vampires are turned in, like you turn people into vampires in this world, is that you have to make them fall in love with you, and you have to fall in love with them, which in turn makes them able to bite you, and then you turn into a vampire. So it's essentially Ko trying to get Nezuna to fall in love with him, and yeah, I like it. The art is cool. I definitely have talked about it now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know if that was last month, but it was definitely cool. And in this one, they introduced more vampires and the exact rules and stuff that is necessary to turn people into a vampire. But yeah, really good art. Liked it. I have talked about this. Now that I'm talking about it right now, I have definitely talked about this before. It's what happens when you have a lot of fucking manga that you read. Eventually, you're going to start repeating yourself. It is what it is. It's an unfortunate state of circumstances. And now I'm just gonna... There we go. So, yeah. These are the series that I have continued reading. So, yeah. Really good. Awesome. Jesus, I've been recording this for a while. I'm just gonna walk off screen and end the video. So, let's go do that. Alright. Yeah, that's the end. I, again, only mostly read stuff that I have read in the past. Didn't really start that many. I think I may be starting a few other ones, but it may be another month for November where I just continue on. Excuse me. Series that I've already read. It is what it is. Hopefully I get to start more, but I don't know. It's alright. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. If you want to know exactly everything that I'm reading, go ahead and follow me on Instagram again. I keep up to date for things that I'm reading, also watching at points. It's a more succinct way because I don't have the community page on YouTube. That doesn't happen until 1,000 subscribers, which that would probably be 50 years from now, you know. Yeah, that's it. If you liked the video, hit a like. If you liked any of the manga that I've read, or you have any recommendations, or any manga that you have read, put it down in the comments. If you want to see more of this stupid bearded face, hit that subscribe button. I have plenty of other videos talking about what I've read, what I'm playing, all the stupid things that you would usually do. Yeah. Yeah, that's the end. I'm going to go back to playing Metroid Dread, and I'm going to probably have to edit this. Not probably, I will have to edit this. That's the end. Be safe out there. Stay warm. It's getting cold finally. Yeah. Bye. Read some manga. Bye. Bye.